Well, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Mr. President, salam. Quick announcement, if anyone has tickets to the GSA after party, the plane is leaving for the Four Seasons in Dubai at midnight on the dot. Don't be late or you'll miss out on your complimentary white tiger cub. I want to thank the Washington Hilton for hosting us tonight. You know, President Obama wanted to move the dinner to the Kennedy Center this year, but the Republicans wanted to keep it here at the Hilton, so they compromised, and here we are at the Hilton. I'm staying at the hotel, and I'll be honest, it isn't great. I had to change rooms last night because there was a huge leak in the room above me. I guess Peter Orszag left his mouth on, and he told me you guys would like that one. He told me a lot of stuff. Mr. President, you remember when the country rallied around you in hopes of a better tomorrow? That was hilarious. That was your best one yet. Even some of your fellow Democrats think you're a pushover, Mr. President. They would like to see you stick to your guns. And if you don't have any guns, they would like to see you ask Eric Holder to get some for you. Jake Tapper wrote that. It's kind of hard to be funny with the President of the United States sitting right next to you, looking at you, and yet somehow, day in and day out, Joe Biden manages to do it. Are you enjoying this? Is this fun for you? This is the first meal he's had in months. They say diplomacy is a matter of carrots and sticks, and since Mrs. Obama got to the White House, so is dinner. You're very skinny. She doesn't let you eat. I felt weird about eating dessert. I left it untouched. I've never done that before. You know, the real reason people thought you were from Kenya had nothing to do with your birth certificate. It's because you lost so much weight, we thought you were the guy who won the Boston Marathon. This is how I had the opportunity to sit next to the First Lady tonight. She's very, very nice, and no matter what side of the fence you're on, you have to admit, she's done a lot of good work. She just wants us to be healthy, really, is all. Mrs. Obama, I thank you for that. Look, it's Chris Christie, get him. Governor Christie, I think you might be misunderstanding New Jersey's slogan. It's not the Olive Garden state. White House Press Secretary Jay Carney is with us. Hello, Jay. Jay is, as you know, not only his press secretary, you also know him as the white guy from every LensCrafters commercial. For those of you who aren't familiar with this story, Kim, Lindsay, etc., Hillary Rosen is the woman who said Ann Romney never worked a day in her life, even though Mrs. Romney raised 5 kids. And of course, the administration tried to distance itself from those comments. They said she's not an advisor to the Obama campaign, even though, as we later found out, her name appeared on the White House visitor log 35 times. So when reporters asked Jay why her name showed up 35 times, this is where it gets hilarious. He said he wasn't sure it was the same Hillary Rosen. He said, I personally know 3 Hillary Rosens. You personally know 3 Hillary Rosens? Where did all these Hillary Rosens come from? Did you pick them in the Hillary Rosen garden? 3 Hillarys. That sounds like President Clinton's worst nightmare. Hey, is that slut Rush Limbaugh here? People are still upset with Rush for comments he made about Sandra Fluke, but you know what? There's a reason Mr. Limbaugh said what he said, and that reason is Percocet. And by the way, just to clear things up for the extreme right-wingers, here's the difference between Bill Maher and Rush Limbaugh. The people who watch Bill Maher know he's an asshole. We have numerous members of the print media in attendance, which reminds me of a riddle. What's black and white and red all over? Nothing anymore. Really? The Christie jokes are okay, but no? Bill O'Reilly wrote a controversial book about another great president called Killing Lincoln. I actually have my own theory about Lincoln's death. I think John Wilkes Booth was innocent. I don't even think it was an assassination. I believe that Abraham Lincoln had a vision about what the Republican Party would become in 150 years, and he shot himself. Is the fox table laughing, or? Or did Rupert Murdoch hack into all my jokes already? There are a lot of very big celebrities here with us tonight. Uggy is here. Uggy's the dog from the movie The Artist. Uggy is amazing. He can roll over on command. He's a Democrat. Last week we learned that the president's two favorite steaks are ribeye and seeing eye. You know you don't have to reveal everything in an autobiography, right? I mean, you can leave some things out. When you go to a dog park, is it the same as when we look at a tank full of lobsters? The president was very candid in an interview with The Atlantic a couple of weeks ago when he called Kanye West a jackass. Which, no offense, sir, but I think you got the wrong West. I think you meant Allen. Sully Sullenberger. Where is Sully Sullenberger? I met him outside the... Sully, would you do us a favor? Would you mind driving Lindsay Lohan home? Make sure you don't run into a goose, especially a gray goose. What a collection of people. Here in one room we have members of the media, politicians, corporate executives, advertisers, lobbyists, and celebrities. Everything that is wrong with America is here in this room tonight. Unfortunately, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, isn't. Apparently, yours aren't the only dinner invitations he declines, Mrs. Obama. Don't take it personally, though. He's probably just afraid someone will ask him to pass the salt and he won't have the votes. Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi isn't here tonight either, but her lipstick is. It's on my glass, I think, from last year. Nancy Pelosi believes in lipstick the same way she believes in government. Too much is never enough. Jake Tapper also wrote that one. The people are interesting, too. You know, it's fun to have conversations with people who are so passionate about politics. I talked to a guy who was a huge supporter of Obamacare, and a guy who says it's a disaster that should be killed immediately. And it was interesting because I'd never met Mitt Romney before. Some people say Mitt Romney won't be elected president because he's Mormon, and I think that's ignorant. I mean, this country is more open-minded than that. We elected an African-American president. We would absolutely elect a Mormon president, just not Mitt Romney. Stevie Wonder just said, "We elected an African-American president?" We heard Eric Fernstrom compare Romney's campaign to an Etch-a-Sketch, and I don't know. When I think Mitt Romney, I don't think Etch-a-Sketch, I think Twister. One foot on red, the other on blue, and both hands on green. But if you're a Republican, you know, there isn't much of a choice. I get Rick Santorum is out. I guess it just wasn't Rick's year. Rick's year is 1954. You know, it's one thing to oppose gay marriage. It's another altogether to do it in a sweater vest. Ron Paul is still in there. He's still sticking with it. To me, Ron Paul looks like the guy who gets unhooded at the end of every Scooby-Doo episode. It's great to see the Gingriches here tonight because I guess that means the check cleared. All right, it's time for the fun part of the evening. I'd like everyone to look under your seats. Under each one, you will find a copy of Keith Olbermann's resume. Is Keith here tonight? Limo wouldn't pick him up? The thing about Keith Olbermann is he's so likable. Al Gore launched Current TV in 2005, and it took off like a North Korean rocket. Keith Olbermann burned more bridges than the arsonist of Madison County. He has more pink slips than Marcus Bachmann. Too soon? Too soon? I do have one real question for you, Mr. President. What's with the marijuana crackdown? I mean, seriously, what is the concern? We will deplete the nation's Funyun supply? You know, pot smokers vote too, sometimes a week after the election, but they vote. Look at Britt Hume, he's high right now. He's on his 4th almond macaroon. Woody Harrelson just woke up. As we know now, last year at this dinner, President Obama had his team on the way to kill Osama bin Laden. So who will it be this year? If you're looking for the biggest threat to America right now, she's right there. Her name is Kim Kardashian. She was captured by Greta Van Susteren and brought right to your doorstep. You know, when you took office, the Kardashians had one reality show. Now they have 4. This is not a good trend. Right now, Navy SEAL Team 6 is outside the Kardashian compound in Beverly Hills, disguised as the Denver Nuggets, so they can sneak in undetected. President Obama wants everyone in America to have health care, whether we want it or not. I think I figured it out. You're not from Kenya. It's even worse. You're from Canada. I also want to thank Mr. Mills, my 10th grade high school history teacher, who said I'd never amount to anything if I kept screwing around in class. Mr. Mills, I'm about to high-five the President of the United States. Is it okay? Eat it, Mills. Thank you, everybody.